Alright, y'all, it is the Friday before the World's competition. We are at the gym here. We're going to get a workout in, and it's going to be great. I woke up today at 151.5 pounds. Competition's on Sunday. We're going to get a workout in. We're going to get things geared up for peak week. We're going to take you along every step of the way, so get ready. What is going on, y'all? We are at the Airbnb. It is peak week. It is the week of the final competition of the season, the WNBF Worlds competition, which is the Super Bowl of natural bodybuilding. I'm super excited about it. Super honored to be stepping on stage with other pros for my second time. It is Friday morning right now. We got back from the gym. We did like a pump-up session, had a great workout with Greg, Chip, and myself. Pretty cool powerlifting gym. Owner was there, super nice guy. Had a great workout, great posing session, great pump up, great everything. Had some cool equipment. We used it all. So we are back at the Airbnb. I'm going to be having my ketogenic caloric refeed pizza tonight, Friday, before I compete on Sunday. So I've got a very light meal right now for my first meal of the day. This is, I'll tell you exactly what this is. I had 9 Nut Pods creamer in my coffee this morning. This meal one is going to contain 2 eggs, 115 grams of cod liver, and I've got 25 grams of ghee and 1 gram of salt. Most of the salt today is going to be coming from the ketogenic caloric refeed pizza this evening with those anchovies that I'll be putting on there. I'm going to have my brick with that meal as well. So most of my sodium today is going to be backloaded a little bit. So the meal macros right here are only 22 grams of protein, 2 grams of total carbs, and 85 grams of fat. So pretty fat, dense meal that we've got cooking right here. I'm also keeping my total sodium for the day consistent. I'm at about 11,500 milligrams for the day, which has been what I've been consuming these past several days. I also did a caliper test when I got back from the gym. That came in at 3.56% body fat. And then I also got measurements, and the measurements, let me pull those up real quick here. Run through those. We have neck 13.75, shoulders 45, chest 39, biceps unflexed 13, flexed 15 and a quarter, belly button 30 and a half, hips 34 and 3/4, thighs 21 and a half, calves 14 and a half. The only other things we have on the agenda for today is I'm going to have this meal and then we're going to go in for competitor weigh-ins. I woke up today at 151.5. The lowest I've hit all prep is 151.2. So I've definitely flushed out any excess fluid and I'm coming in pretty tight right now, which is interesting because I've had that extra pound of lamb every single day so far this week. So I've been eating more this week and my weight is steadily dropping. So one of the beauties of getting your electrolytes and meals and macros dialed in there. So I'm going to eat this. We're going to go to the competitor weigh-in, and then we've got a mandatory bodybuilding competitor check-in tonight at 6:30. So we'll take y'all along for all that. But right now, I'm going to enjoy this meal. All right, y'all. We are at the 4 Points Sheraton Hotel for our competitor weigh-in. So they did a weigh-in, like a 3-day weigh-in. You had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to weigh in. We're rolling in here on Friday, so I'm about to jump on the scale, see what my weight's going to be. I woke up, like I said, at 151.5 this morning, and the lightweight category goes to 165. So I'm pretty confident I'm going to be in the lightweight division, so here we go. Most competitors are going to get their polygraph test with this weigh-in, but I got my polygraph test at the Worlds competition that I went pro at, or at the earlier Washington competition. And the way the WNBF is working now is you have a 6-week window. So since I got my polygraph and passed that, then with my urinalysis test, I do not have to take the polygraph at this venue. So one less thing to do there, which is kind of nice. What's going on, y'all? We're here for the competitor check-ins for the meeting. I guess we did the check-ins and weigh-ins earlier. This is just a competitor meeting for the bodybuilding class. We've got several people milling about downstairs. I ran into Alberto Nunez down there, shook his hand, met him for the first time in person, which was cool. Chatted with him a little bit. We are coming up now for this competitor meeting, and you can see all these competitors about, which is pretty cool. Everybody with Worlds, you've literally got people coming in from all over the world, so they're all representing. I've seen jackets that say China on there, Ukraine on there. What are some other ones we've seen, Chip?
Switzerland.
We
got some guys from UK.
We got some guys from UK. We got all people from all over, which is cool. Like, I'm stepping on stage for a world-recognized show, which I'm very humbled by. It's very cool. I'm excited. But everybody's out here kind of doing their thing, milling about. Lots of rice cakes, lots of honey, lots of jelly, and I'm not having any of that because I'm going to be going home in a little bit and eating the ketogenic refeed pizza. So that's what I'm excited about. But let's go knock out this check-in real quick. Well, there's 15 people in my lightweight class, so quite the stacked class indeed. What is going on, y'all? We are back at the Airbnb. We have just left the competitor meeting, so got some great information there. I can already tell this show is very well organized and orchestrated, which is exciting to say the least. Lots of camaraderie backstage, lots of friendly vibes, smiles, but also a lot of seriousness as people are getting their game faces on. So everybody is ready to rock for sure. Quite a stacked competitor lineup, though. There's a bunch of people at this show, and there's a lot going on. So we went backstage. They kind of gave us a breakdown as to what to expect, the order of events, the photography expectations, just how they're going to funnel people through. So very informative there. For my class specifically, it's going to be a running format. So rather than having a prejudging and a night show, they're going to have a running format in which the cohorts are broken up, and they will judge each individual cohort, and you'll kind of know where you stand there. Interestingly enough, this is the biggest class I have ever been in by far. So the lightweight class, the class I'll be competing in, is going to be 15 competitors. 15 competitors. The middleweight class is going to have 8, and the heavyweight class is going to have 10. There's no bantamweight in the pro bodybuilding. Amateurs are competing tomorrow on Saturday, and the pros are competing on Sunday starting at 9 a.m. in the morning. So they also said that the top 5 will be the only competitors that get to do their routines. So hopefully I'm in the top 5 and get to showcase the routine that I've worked so hard on. And the top 3 of each category will be getting a check. So if you are in the top 3, you'll be getting paid. That is one of the benefits of competing as a pro. There is now money on the line. I have no idea how much money. Honestly, you don't do this sport for the money, so it doesn't really matter. But that's kind of how that's broken down. Massive, massive class of 15. I'm not sure if they're going to have all 15 competitors in my class up there at the same time, or if they'll break that up. I would think we'll all be up there at the same time. That's probably what they'll do. So if I win my class of 15, then I'll be competing against the middleweight and heavyweight in the overall, of which there's quite a few competitors as well. So we will likely be on stage for quite some time. When you have that many people in a class, the judges like to take their time, and they'll make you work for it. Knowing that, I'll probably pump up a little bit more than I did at the last show, but not spend an excessive amount of time pumping up because I don't really need to anyways. My body tends to get more full, more filled out the longer I'm on stage, especially with the stage lights. So hopefully it's not cold backstage, and hopefully the judges keep us out there for quite some time. I feel very good about my conditioning from a posing standpoint, and the longer the judges keep us out there, the more that's going to be brought to light. Because while the other competitors are starting to get fatigued and winded and shaking and sweating, I'm going to be holding my poses, being composed, and looking like a professional, because I am a professional now, and I've been putting in the work with the posing, doing 60-second holds on every pose every day this week. So I feel really good about that, really confident about that. I am back at the Airbnb, like I said. It is 8:30 p.m., and I'm about to eat my refeed ketogenic caloric pizza, which, let's kind of just go over the macros a little bit today. Because I had that meal, so I had that coffee with the 9 nut pods this morning, and then I had that smaller meal today that y'all saw with the 2 eggs, 115 grams of cod liver, and 25 grams of ghee. The macros on that meal were only 22 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, and 85 grams of fat. So I've only had 22 grams of protein so far today after having trained and being depleted as I am, and I feel great. I don't feel like I'm wasting away into nothing. So that's another benefit of the ketogenic diet for sure. I was not backstage eating rice cakes like everybody else. This meal 2, this refeed caloric pizza with the Bell's Brownie Keto Brick, is going to be 128 grams of protein, 18 grams of total carbs, 226 grams of fat for a total of 2,619 calories. So this is definitely where the bulk of my nutrition today is coming from. And it is going to put my total for the day at 3,619 calories, 320 grams of dietary fat, 30 grams of total carbs, and 150 grams of protein. Most of those carbs are coming from the electrolyte drinks, just the electrolyte powders, the trace carbs in those, and they likely round up a little bit on those. So pretty minimal from a carb standpoint, obviously. Pretty high with the fat, pretty moderate with the protein. I'm doing 150 grams of protein at a body weight of about 151 pounds right now. So about a 1-to-1 for a pound of body weight. People typically do 1 gram per pound of lean mass, which is ideal in a building phase. But since I'm so dialed in right now and trying to get as lean and crisp as possible, I've been cutting calories from the protein, which is why my protein is pretty low in general. But then for the refeed today, it's 150 grams instead of it being higher like it has been in the past, because I want to bring that crisp package to the show on Sunday. So that's what we've got going on there. I've got the pizza in the oven, about to eat that, and I'm going to enjoy every single bite. So get ready for the refeed pizza. What is going on, y'all? It is Saturday morning, the day before the World's competition. I woke up at 152 pounds today with all kinds of vascularity in my calves. Definitely not holding any fluid. I am at LA Fitness. We're going to get a light cardio session in. I was going to do 25 minutes at level 12, but I'm actually going to drop it down to 20 minutes at level 12 and just do a super light pumping circuit, not deplete any muscle glycogen, and then just get the blood flowing from last night's refeed pizza. I don't ever really wear blue, but I am rocking the World's jumpsuit here that I got yesterday at the competitor check-in. So we're representing Worlds here for the United States of America. About to go in here and do my cardio. We'll see y'all inside. All right, y'all, we are back at the Airbnb. We have left the gym. That was the last workout, the last cardio session, and the last posing session of this competition prep. It's done. It's crazy. It's all she wrote. We got my meal here. We've got the Bell's Brownie Batter Keto Brick, and then we are doing the normal meals for the week this week. So we have here, let's see here. We have 2 eggs, 150 grams of organic egg whites, the brick, 6 grams of ghee, and 5 ounces of bison for a total of 95 grams of protein, 13 grams of total carbs, and 115 grams of fat, 1,493 calories. And tonight we're going to have the extra pound of lamb and the ghee, but right now we're going to dive into this, and then this will pretty much be standard meal. We're doing like the one standard meal plus the extra lamb every day this week, but we're having the refeed, then this meal the next day, then the show day. So rather than having the refeed the day before the show, we're having the standard day in between the two to kind of let things all stabilize. So that is the plan now. I feel great with the last workout. About to dive into this meal, and then we've got the tanning from 2 to 5. So I'm going to get all shaved, exfoliated, and skin prepped for the tanning. So that is what we have coming for the rest of the day. Right now, I'm going to dive in. All right, y'all, we are at the Performing Arts Center. We're going to get our first coat of spray tan on right now. So all the competitor check-ins are done, all the polygraphs are done, all that stuff's done, so we're just going to go in and get a tan done. The amateurs are competing right now, and they're doing the tanning at the venue, so we're going to go in, maybe see some of them, not sure, but let's go get a shade darker real quick. Alright, y'all, the tan is done. They were going to do 2 coats, but because of the last show, I was too dark. So I told them to kind of only do 1 coat today, and we're going to another touch-up coat tomorrow morning. So the venue is super nice. So the backstage area that y'all saw, pretty crowded, lots of clutter. Everybody's been kind of milling around, but it's not super cold, which I like. I'm going to try and get here early in the morning, get my little corner carved out, my little oasis. I checked out the actual stage and where the audience is going to be. That's super nice. So just a very, very professional looking venue and setup. I'm excited to walk in tomorrow and rock and roll. So get ready. Alright, y'all, one little hunger hack when you're deep into a prep is I'll go to Sonic and I'll get a cup of ice, and then I'll put some strawberry watermelon in there. It doesn't affect my blood sugar at all. I'll be like 71 milligrams per deciliter. I'll have this. 30 minutes later, I'm still 71 milligrams per deciliter. So it doesn't affect my blood sugar at all. Pretty clean ingredients. And just simply chewing the ice helps a little bit with the psychology of being hungry. And I'm measuring out all my water intake right now, so I'm tracking this consumption of ice in my fluid intake for the day. So works out well. Just chowing down on my ice. Alright, y'all, we are back at the Airbnb from the competitor tanning. So it's kind of cool seeing everything backstage there. I now have a better idea of what I'm walking into tomorrow. I know what the backstage is going to look like. I'm going to get there early. I'm going to carve out my little oasis, get my space heater going, get set up and ready to rumble. I got 1 coat of tan on. That's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to be too dark because I'm going to get a 2nd coat tomorrow, so that should be good. I want to dive into the spreadsheet and kind of show you what we've got going from a macro standpoint, but before we do that, let's get some ketone readings, just out of curiosity's sake. I just got done walking. I had that ice with the stir, and then I just got done walking for like 20 minutes or so. Gave my mom a call, talked to her and dad for a little bit. She's been doing keto for quite some time now, so I wanted to check in on her and see how she's doing with that. Alright, so we will see what my markers are doing. My ketones are pretty low right now, unless I have the refeed meal, in which case they bump up. They've been around like 0.2, 0.4. Right now they're 0.4 on the ketones and 78 on the blood glucose. I tested my ketones the other day and they were 1.6. So kind of just depends. I'm so depleted right now that my body's using all the ketones that I have, so there's not really much in circulation to be measured. So that's what's going on there. But let's dive into the spreadsheet here. So we are 152 pounds upon waking this morning. I kind of mentioned in last week's video that I was kind of having some heavy days from some fluid retention. That's all now flushed out. Again, 152 this morning. I was 151.5 yesterday. Had the refeed meal. I've been having the extra pound of lamb with ghee, 30 grams of ghee, every day this week instead of starting on Tuesday. I started on Monday. So those macros have equated to 215 grams of fat, 175 grams of protein, 15 grams of total carbs, for a total of 2695 on the calories. I did 27 minutes at level 16 on the stairmaster on Monday, and today I scaled it back a little bit. I actually only did 20 minutes at level 12. I'm trying to not overdo it. In the past, I have a tendency to just really go all out, especially on peak week, and that's kind of defeating the purpose. I need to not deplete muscle glycogen. I need to relax and need to let my body just recover. So I've been trying to scale things back a little bit with the posing practice, with the cardio, with the training this week and peak week. Like I said earlier, with the training today, we just did 3 sets of 12 reps on everything. Got some good blood flow, got a great pump, got a great posing session in, and also scaled back the cardio to 20 minutes, so that felt good. Yesterday with the refeed pizza, I had 320 grams of fat, 150 grams of protein, 20 grams total carbs for a total of 3560 on the calories. And that wound up being a 80.9% fat ratio. So had I tested my blood ketones after that, it would have spiked well over 1.0 millimolar, but I did not test after that. But that gives you an idea of what those macros were looking like. Again, today I am having the normal day in between the refeed and the show day. So I'm doing 215 grams of fat again, 175 protein, 15 grams total carbs with that extra pound of lamb. And then tomorrow, we may call an audible, in which case I will certainly keep y'all in the loop. But tomorrow, Sunday, the day of the show, my plan is to have 2 keto bricks like I did at the Washington show that I went pro at. I'll probably be stepping on stage around noon. So I'm going to have my fatty coffee in the morning. I'm going to have my first keto brick relatively early in the morning, and then my second keto brick probably about an hour and a half or so before stepping on stage, which I predict will be around noon. So that's the plan there. And then after the show is over, the judges have made their final calls, and we know what the final results will be. We'll be able to go eat at a Brazilian steakhouse is the plan. So 2 bricks before stepping on stage with the fatty coffee, and that will be the only nutrition I have before I compete. And then we'll get the judges' feedback. I'll let you know what all that was, let you know what the placings were, and then we will go out to a Brazilian steakhouse, and I'll document all that for y'all as well. But I wanted to kind of give you some behind the scenes as to what the macros were looking like for this last show. The only big difference I did with this show that I did not do at the prior shows is I started the extra pound of lamb at the very beginning of the week, so I've had a higher intake overall. Once you factor in the refeed meal from that keto pizza, and these macros for Sunday are not going to be the macros that you see because I'm not putting the Brazilian steakhouse in there, but it's wound up being about a 2,800 calorie daily average once you factor out that refeed meal. So quite a big increase in overall intake. Interestingly enough, I was talking to some competitors backstage, one of which was the pro that handed me the sword when I went pro at the Washington show. I was talking to him, and he's eating like, I don't know, 1,600 calories right now, 1,700 calories. He's doing a carb load, which is typical for most competitors during peak week. They're having between 200 and 300 grams of additional carbs, keeping their dietary fat relatively low. He's got 40 pounds on me. He is a heavyweight competitor, and he weighs 100 and... Actually, no, that one was not the one that was 40 pounds. He's got 30 pounds on me, roughly, 20 or 30 pounds. So significantly bigger than me, and he's doing an additional 200, 300 grams of carbs this week, and his intake this week is around, 2,600 calories or so. I'm at about 2,600 calories, then I had that 3,500 calorie day. So what I'm trying to illustrate with this is when you're doing a ketogenic competition prep for the peak week, your body can sustain a much higher caloric intake than those that are consuming a bunch of carbohydrates without having to worry yourself about any adverse reactions from spilling over from that carbohydrate intake bolus and risk holding additional fluid weight. I've been dropping weight all week long as I've been flushing out any excess fluid, but I've been eating more food, more fat, more protein. So my energy levels have been better. I feel great. My mental state and psychology is on cloud 9. I feel very alert, very attuned to my surroundings, and I'm just feeling like $1,000,000 right now. A lot of these competitors are milling around backstage, eating their rice cakes covered in peanut butter and jelly and honey and candy, and I'm eating keto bricks and an extra pound of lamb every night and eating an additional 1,000 calories over what they're eating without having to worry about spilling over and looking soft the next day. So if nothing else, that alone should be a massive win in the realm of the ketogenic competition prep protocol. Another massive win is going to be tomorrow when we do the celebratory meal at the Brazilian steakhouse, and my body responds exceedingly well to it. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. There's still work to do, so we'll document all that when that time comes. Right now, let's just focus on the prep, focus on tonight, and be present and focus on what tomorrow will bring. So thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all tomorrow.
He's definitely looking lean as heck. When he was doing some posing earlier today at the gym, he's got the striations, he's got the vascularity, he's got places on his body that are dialed in that I've not seen many people be able to dial in. So it's looking pretty awesome.
It's going to be pretty intense. They're going to keep him up there for a while. He's done the work. He's practiced. He's got it in. All the hard work's been done now. This is the end. This is what it's all been for. This is the climax.
I feel like people really peak for this show. So I feel like it's just going to be... It's going to be the top dogs. Like, people are coming from other countries. They're not going to bring... They're going to bring their A game. Because they wouldn't have flown all the way here to be away from their families and work this hard to not just show up. To just show up doing a halfway job, you know? So people are bringing their A game. I'm pretty excited to see it.
What is going on, y'all? Good morning. It is November 19th. It is 6:30 in the morning. I woke up at 3 o'clock today at a weight of 152.3, which is the lightest I have ever weighed on a show day. I feel great. I'm not holding any excess fluid in my legs or anything. And I did not sleep a wink last night. I was kind of just having a hard time falling asleep, getting excited about what today would bring. And then I've been just waking up crazy early before my alarm. Like, I woke up at 3 o'clock today, just wired and ready to rock. And we are going to rock today indeed. Today is the morning of the Worlds competition, the WNBF Worlds competition. This is going to be the most prestigious, most prominent show I've ever competed in. There's going to be at least 15 competitors, if not 16 or 17 in my lightweight class. At 152.3 pounds, I'm at the very bottom of that weight limit in that class. So I will be one of the smaller guys on stage, but I hope to make up for that in just obscene conditioning, because I feel like my conditioning is on point, to a point where I've never been able to get it before. I am the leanest I have ever been, without a shadow of a doubt. And for that reason alone, I consider this a win. I'm very proud and very grateful to have accomplished that. My goal with this entire prep has been to become the leanest man alive, and I feel like I'm definitely in the running for that title. So I'm excited to see what it looks like against the other competitors. Regardless of what the judges say, regardless of the feedback, regardless of the outcome and the placings, I'm at peace with today. I woke up this morning in a great mindset, excited about what the day would hold. I journaled, I prayed, I meditated, I got in the zone, and I am ready to rumble, ladies and gents. We're going to bring the best that I possibly can today, and I'm going to be totally at peace with it. I'm going to soak in every moment. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be grateful, and I'm going to be courageous, because today is what it's all about, and this has been a long journey, y'all. 33 weeks in prep, 30 pounds down. Went from like 16% body fat down to 3-something% body fat, and have not deviated once from my macros. I have not missed a single training session, have not missed a single cardio session, and I feel very proud of what I'm bringing to the table today. So regardless of what the judges say, regardless of what the final placements are, I can go into today feeling good about myself and what I've done, what we've done collectively as a team, the sacrifices that we've made, and I can be at peace with that. And I'm just super excited, y'all. Like, there's nothing better than to come to the pinnacle of something that you've worked incredibly hard on, and then just be at total peace regardless of the outcome, because there's nothing else I could have done differently, harder, better, more intensely than what I have done throughout these past 33 weeks. And when you can confidently and honestly say that, you have to just simply be at peace with the outcome and let the chips fall where they may. As I've said numerous times on this is a subjective sport. You never know what the judges are looking for. They may look for size. They may look for something that I don't have. But I'm bringing the best that Robert Orion Sykes can bring to the table. And I can confidently say that going into the day. So again, y'all, just thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for being here alongside me. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the feedback, the emails, the just the response that I've received in light of this prep has been overwhelmingly positive and supportive, and I'm forever grateful. I thank my team. I thank God. I thank every single one of y'all, and I'm excited to showcase all the work that's been put into this, and I hope to not let y'all down and to make y'all proud, because y'all have been a certain solid rock in my corner throughout all of this, and I'm excited to showcase all the work that has been done. So let's step on stage, let's bring our best, and let's just be excited about it and have fun. At the end of the day, this sport is supposed to be fun, and it's oftentimes made into an unhealthy sport with negative psychological components, just misery. And you can certainly take it that route. I've taken it that route before, but with this prep specifically, I've really just tried to be present, be grateful, have fun, have energy, have excitement, and just take each day as it comes. So we're going to do the same thing with today, and I'm excited to bring you all along on the journey, play by play, give you the behind the scenes, give you the front end action, and just take you along for the ride. So let's rock and roll, y'all. Let's go conquer today at the WNBF World's Bodybuilding Competition, where the best natural bodybuilders from all over the entire world have come in to compete, and I will be stepping on stage alongside them. So here we are, the creme de la creme, the top of the heap. Let's rock and roll, y'all. Natural bodybuilding from a ketogenic standpoint. We are representing ketogenic bodybuilding, ketogenic natural bodybuilding, and what all that encompasses and what all opportunities that provides. And I have certainly gained confidence in this ketogenic protocol, this ketogenic lifestyle, and I'm excited to showcase that on a natural bodybuilding stage that is the most prominent stage in the sport. So let's roll up our sleeves, let's rock and roll, let's stay savage, y'all. All right, y'all, we are here at the venue. It is nice and blisteringly cold with some good wind, so we're gonna go inside to carve out our little oasis and get set up. Let's rock and roll. All right, so here we are. We got a little corner back here. Got my space heater plugged in. Gonna get my blankets down and just make my spot. All right, y'all, here we are backstage. I'm in line right now to get my touch-ups done. It is 8:30 in the morning. They are going to start the first group in about 30 minutes at 9. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my Bell's Brownie Keto Brick. I eat the whole thing, 1,000 calories, and it'll probably be about, I don't know, a couple hours before I step on stage. So we're gonna get this down, get some nutrition in me, get some sodium in me, and start filling out a little bit for the show. All right, y'all, so backstage here, just got my second coat, my touch-up tan. Staying hydrated. I am drinking another 25 fluid ounce bottle of water. I'm putting one element packet in there, which has got 1,000 milligrams of sodium. For every one of these, I'm doing 1 teaspoon of upgraded potassium. So get my potassium in, and that's kind of what I'm doing from a hydration standpoint. I also use Mike Mutzel's Myoscience for electrolytes. And for before I step on stage, about 15-20 minutes, I'm gonna have some of Jonathan Shane's True Endurance to kind of help pump up a little bit more. So that's my plan from a hydration standpoint. It's 10:15 now. I'll probably be on stage at around noon. So I'm gonna go take a leak in the restroom, and then come back and probably have another keto break here in the next 30 minutes or so. All right, so it'll be like another 15-20 minutes before we go backstage, and then maybe back there for another 30 minutes or so. So I probably need to get glazed here before long. I need to eat my brick sooner rather than later, so I'm gonna go do that right now. All right, just got glazed. I'm gonna eat half a brick now, and we'll kind of see where we're at timing-wise.
So listen to us, we're gonna spread you out evenly. We don't want you guys bumping into each other, okay? We want everyone to get a fair look up there, okay?
right, y'all, we just got done with the prejudging there. We did our signature rounds, we did our muscular rounds. Since it was such a big class, they had to separate us out, which I don't really think I liked. It was all randomized as far as I know, but I was in the second round because the class was so big. They had the first round out longer, so they had us holding our front relaxed for forever. Then they brought us out. Then they brought some people from the first call out to compare to me. So it's just weird. It was just weird. It was such a big class. I felt like I spent so much time holding the front relaxed and not as much time hitting the actual poses. I don't know what my total time on stage was, but yeah, I don't feel fatigued right now. I don't feel like I hit a bunch of poses. So yeah, I'm just super curious. From what I feel and can tell, though, I feel dialed in. I feel sharp. I feel like I brought a great package. So we'll see what the judges say here in a little bit.
Top 5, random order, 53, 55, 58, 47, 57. Follow me.
Let's go. There he is.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, dude? You looked phenomenal.
Appreciate it, brother.
How'd it feel?
Felt good.
Everyone kind of looked like what I anticipated. Everyone looked amazing. It was a really good competition. I think Robert did amazing. I think he showed up the best he could have. The best he could. I mean, he's looked great at all these competitions, and I don't think he looked any different with this one. I think he looked just amazing. But now we're done. Kind of weird.
This was the last show. I am super proud of Robert, and I think everybody's going to say that, and it's true. He has done everything he planned on doing, and it was a success. Regardless of what the judges thought, he nailed it. His body was tuned in, his mind was tuned in. He had a plan, he executed it, done.
He looked confident on stage. He held his poses awesome on stage. His conditioning was dialed in. His color was dialed in. He just looked like the guy. But I don't think he could have done anything better. On stage presence, his demeanor was on point, and it was amazing to see.
All right, y'all, we are back at the Airbnb. I have not even showered yet. I'm jumping right on this to make a clip for y'all. I'm losing my voice a little bit, so hopefully that doesn't come through too bad in the audio. Great experience. I feel very good about it all. I feel very blessed and honored to have graced the stage. This competition, Worlds, was representing 54 different countries. This is literally the best bodybuilders, the best natural bodybuilders in the world, and I was honored to step on stage with them. I did not get in the top 5. I don't know what the placing was. I just know that I was not in the top 5. So there is that. Because I was not in the top 5, I did not get to do my routine. So kind of anticlimactic in that regard. But I feel very great about the entire outcome. I mean, we got there. We put in the work. The show day itself went very smoothly. I had my backstage area. I had my peaking protocol perfectly dialed in. I had 2 keto bricks prior to stepping on stage. I measured my water, my electrolytes. I feel like I filled out properly, and I feel like I brought the best package that I could have brought today, and that is the name of the game. You know, this was the this was the final of 5 competitions for this season. 33 weeks dieting, 30 pounds down, and I feel like I've gotten better every single time I've stepped on stage. I feel like this is definitely the leanest I've ever been. My first bodybuilding competition in 2012, I weighed 153 pounds. Today I woke up at 152.3, and I have so much more size than I did back then. So I have built a physique over many years, and the last 8 years have been fully ketogenic. And I've gotten better with every time I've graced the stage. And that is the name of the game in the sport of bodybuilding. And that will continue to be the case as I go forward into future bodybuilding endeavors. As far as the actual show day itself is concerned, it was interesting because there were so many competitors. There were 16 of us, and it was just like a stacked class. There was not a single slouch up there. I was looking at some of the photos and the videos, and it's like everybody was just, they brought their A game. So I was honored to be on stage with such, A-class players, and they broke the class up so that they could see all of them, for the judges at once. So I started out in the back, then they brought me up, then they kind of moved people around. I stayed in the center the entire time, which is good. I feel like I certainly looked like I belonged there with that class, so that was great. I did not look out of place in that regard. I was one of the smaller competitors for sure, so I'm sure when I go back and get judges' feedback tonight, they're going to simply say, hey, look, put on more size, which I will most certainly make a priority going into this building phase. But as far as what I could have done differently for this show, nothing comes to mind. I haven't deviated from my training, my nutrition, my posing practice. My posing today was on point. I can confidently say that this was the best posing I've ever done. My symmetry round poses were all dialed in and composed. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't fatigued. All of my muscular round poses were being hit properly. I feel like my posing is perfectly dialed in. I feel like my peaking was perfectly dialed in. I brought the full package. I didn't have any flatness to my physique. I had the vascularity. I had the striations. All the cuts were there and visible. So I feel very at peace with the fact that I brought my best package, and that's all any competitor can hope to do. So I feel really great about that. Now we're going to go back. We're going to go get some judges' feedback, and then we're going to go to a celebratory Brazilian steakhouse meal tonight, and we're going to enjoy that together as a family, as a team, enjoy the camaraderie, and we'll take you along for that whole ride as well. So thank you all so very much for being a part of this, and we will see you for the judges' feedback after a short bit. All right, y'all, we're here at the Brazilian Steakhouse. Gonna get a preliminary blood glucose and ketone test to see where we're at. 81 on the blood glucose and
Thank you.
0.9 on the blood ketones. So we're gonna eat a lot of meat, and we will see what it is at the end. I just ate 3 pounds of meat, so pretty good portion of protein and fat. 67 on the blood glucose.
Went down?
Went down quite a bit. And then 0.9 stayed consistent. How many competitors can finish out a show, have a celebratory meal, and not have much dysregulation with their blood ketones and glucose? Probably not many. What is going on, y'all? Quick little update. So we went to get the judges' feedback, and the judges were running late. Everything ran long, so we got there at 6 o'clock is when this judges' feedback was supposed to happen. It was like an hour and 30 minutes, and they still hadn't arrived. We had reservations at a Brazilian steakhouse, so we opted to clear out because we didn't know how much longer we would be waiting. And I've gotten feedback at all the competitor meetings after each of these shows thus far, and the feedback's been pretty much the same. Your conditioning's on point, your posing's on point, just put on more size. So we opted to just go in and not miss the dinner reservations. And I'll see if I can get that feedback at a later date. So there's an update there. We all went to a Brazilian steakhouse, Novijo's, I believe is the name of it, and we ate a ton of food. I ate 3 pounds of meat. I ate just meat, and I feel great. I feel stuffed. I feel satisfied. I feel totally full. A little uncomfortably full, actually. So the first time in a long time I felt uncomfortably full. Tested my blood sugar, my blood ketones. My body is responding just fine. No crazy spikes or dips there. I doubt most competitors can say that post-show with their celebratory meal, so I feel very good about that. We are back at the Airbnb now, and I'm going to have a ketogenic brownie that Crystal made me. Honestly, I'm so full I may not even be able to finish the brownie, which I'm kind of surprised by as well. But I feel like I've turned a new leaf in life, y'all. Like, I am coming out of 33 weeks of prep, and I have a complete positive relationship with food, and that is because of the ketogenic diet, not sacrificing foods that I feel like I'm deprived of, because all the foods that I eat throughout my day-to-day and in the prep are all foods that are quality foods that help support my diet and lifestyle goals. So that is one of the massive benefits of this ketogenic competition prep protocol. You don't have to feel deprived of the foods you love, because the foods you love are what you eat every day anyways. You just simply change the intake of those foods throughout the contest prep. So that is a recap on the celebratory meal. We were all there together as a family, as a crew. We focused on the camaraderie and each other more than the food on the plate, but we definitely did enjoy the food on the plate. Had all kinds of ribeye, lamb, pork, chicken, all kinds of meats. Nothing from the salad bar apart from a piece of cheese, an egg, and a salami piece. Just a bunch of meat, y'all. Can't beat that. Much better than going out and slamming a bunch of high glycemic index carbs that leave you feeling poorly the next day. Pretty curious to see what my weight's going to be tomorrow. I do feel a little bit dehydrated today. I didn't drink that much fluid, but I also obviously got a pretty big bolus of sodium from all that food tonight. So we will see what tomorrow's weigh-in looks like. But feeling very blessed, very at peace with the outcome of this show. Very blessed to be with the people that I'm with here. Very blessed for all of y'all. I'm going to enjoy this brownie. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to get some rest. And I'm going to wake up and start the day fresh with a lot of exciting things in the pipeline. We've got the competition prep course. We've got the reverse diet ahead of us. I'm going to be putting out a ton of content as it pertains to the reverse diet and how to properly implement that. So hopefully that's going to be a massive value add for y'all. So again, I just want to say thank y'all for being a part of this journey. I owe it all to y'all. I appreciate it. And I'm just very grateful and blessed to have y'all in my life, in my corner, supporting me throughout this endeavor. So thank y'all, and we will talk to you next week for the week 1 of the reverse diet. All right, y'all, here is the ketogenic brownie. It is made with half of a keto brick and some eggs. It's got like all the same things that I've been eating throughout this prep, just cooked a little bit differently. So made with love by my lovely wife. Here we go. Bottoms up, y'all. That was pretty good. I'm going to dive into this. I'll see y'all later.